Let's be real, most producers don't even make it past the first year. But the homie Ocean and I have been at it for almost a decade. Ocean himself has been producing and making content for over 8 years, and he recently just made a huge shift where he completely switched up his style of music, and he's still going strong. Recently, he and I sat down for a long conversation about what it really takes to stay in the game as a producer and a content creator. Let's start with number 1. Longevity is about reinvention. A lot of people believe that consistency just means uploading forever, but in reality, it means adapting. And since Ocean has been in the game for over 8 years, I asked him about his journey in adapting and what he had to do to reinvent himself along the way.
We want to be specific. I feel like I've definitely had my errors. Like I've gone through variations of the journey. So I've always reinvented myself in some way. I've had the era when I was in the bedroom. I had the era when I had my London studio. I had a Thailand era, or I'm having a Thailand era. So there's always been different moments and different ways I used to shoot. Back then I had a tutorial phase, then it was more of like a very cinematic vlog kind of phase, to the point where it was like very Mr. Beasty kind of challengey vibe. So yeah, I've also somewhat dabbled in the trends a little bit, but I'd say just honestly kept on reinventing myself in some way.
So the first key to longevity is reinvention. I mean, he just said it. Every step, every change, everything he did differently is what helped him stay in the game. And it really made me look at my own journey from the OG dance remixes or the lo-fi remixes or the different types of videos I do. Every time I've done something completely different than what I usually do, I believe that's what, 1, kept me excited to keep going, and 2, kept me in the game. Because one thing I've learned is things are going to change, trends are going to change, and you always have to be switching it up and adapting. Number 2, when everything flops, you still keep going. You ever make a beat when you're like, oh, this is fire, and then you make a video and nobody comments on it, nobody likes it, nobody views it, or you make a banger video and you're like, this one's going to hit, then boom, 10 of 10 on YouTube. Same for me, and the same for Ocean.
Even to this day, man, I still get it wrong. I just did my video of throwing a party in a pizza shop, and I was thinking, man, this one's gonna do sick. Like, I'm loving the edit. Didn't really do anything compared to the one where I'm talking about why I made the switch. And I honestly thought, man, no one cares. It's gonna be a 10 out of 10, straight 1 out of 10. I still get it wrong. Even
him, 8 years in the game, he still feels the same way as we all do when something doesn't go the way we thought in our head it might go. But the difference is, some people, when they get it wrong maybe 2-3 times, they're done. They quit, they give up, they feel like this career path isn't for them. So I asked Ocean, how does he deal with the losses? How does he deal with things not going the way he thought they'd go in his mind?
Okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but I low-key see everything as an advantage. I don't really see it as necessarily I'm wrong and that's a bad thing. It's just like, I was wrong. Okay, maybe don't do that. Learn from it, or figure out why it wasn't great. How can we improve next time? I just know that there's going to be some losses, but if I keep going, there's going to be one that's going to do well. But I have to keep myself in the game to get to that, that one that will do well. That's going to connect. So
pay close attention to what he said there. He said when he gets these losses, he doesn't really look at it as a bad thing. He looks at it as almost an advantage. Now he has that data to see where he can improve. And I read this quote recently that relates to this, and it's, you can only control your output and not the outcome. And that's something that's been helping me a lot. And I want everybody watching this to keep that in mind. You really can only control the amount of stuff you put out, how people respond to it, how many people view it, how many people like it. That's not entirely up to you all the time. So just keep showing up even if it flops, and that's really how you survive. Number 3, knowing your long-term goal changes everything. Ocean dropped a lot of gems on me that day, and this was one of the most powerful ones that I took home with me that day. And I pretty much just asked him, like, how does he deal with the day-to-day ups and downs and not really get himself too tied up to that to where it affects his mental health and, gets to the point where some people may quit. And this is what he had to say.
It's going to sound kind of crazy or delusional or whatever, but in my head, I'm kind of thinking of like the end goal of where I see myself anyway. And I'm going to get there. I have confidence in myself that I will get there eventually. Don't necessarily need to know how. I trust in myself to figure it out. So me uploading a 10 out of 10, and even if it's 5 10 out of 10s in a row, that's kind of revealing the path of how is telling me that this is not the content. If you know in yourself that you tried your best, you tried to make the best content that you could that day or the best music, just let it go, innit?
Yeah.
There's not much else you can do.
This hit home big time because I very much am an indecisive person, an overthinker. I'm someone who definitely kind of gets in my head about the day-to-day wins and losses that happen so much, and that has happened so much over my 7-8 year journey. And I often forget about my long-term vision. And if you have that long-term goal in mind, if you zoom out, the smaller losses, they just don't seem to matter as much. So if you're like me and you're ever feeling lost, you just have to ask yourself, where is it that you really want to go? And is what you're doing helping you get to that point? If so, Gucci, bro, just keep it up and forget all the haters, the low numbers, whatever. And if not, maybe it's time to switch it up. But just having that thought process in mind kind of changes everything. Number 4, the power of drastic change. This man literally left drill music, which was his bread and butter, moved to Thailand and started making house and techno. And for someone like me who's lived in LA their entire lives and is quite frankly a bit afraid of change, I just had to know why and how he made that decision, and his answer made me realize something huge.
It's almost killing one's old self, completely destroying your old identity in a way. And before, it was all about trap and drill beats, right? That was my whole channel, that was my whole thing. And in 2023, I went very heavy into trying to get placements. Honestly, I was chasing placements and not even just like actively pursuing it, but even my whole energy was I was chasing placements, you know what I mean? It was always like, oh, what's happening with this beat? Well, like, he recorded on it, following up with my manager, what's he saying, blah, 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 you know what I mean? Not many people know this. I was sleeping in the studio 5 times a week, and then I'll just go home on the weekends to basically do laundry.
Sheesh.
Come back, I'll go to the gym in the morning, shower there, be in the studio all day. I was making beats, I was running sessions. I was still trying to keep up with my content as well. I low-key kind of fell out of love with it a little bit, but I think during this time period, I was really getting into like the house music and techno music. A couple of events I went to, I was just like, nah, like this is ridiculous. Like this is amazing. I'm really loving this music. But I kind of just left it at that. When I got back to England, I started learning to DJ as I was doing the sessions. I did my first festival, and during that month of July, I took the whole month off doing sessions, and I was just said to myself, I'm gonna make house music only so I can play my own songs in my festival. And I did that, and I had the most fun I've ever had making music since like the beginning. I always ask myself this question, like, can you do 10 years in it? I don't know if I want to do 10 years as chasing placements, but I can do 10 years in it. It's easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes to make change, like, for me anyway, sometimes it's got to be a bit drastic, I'm not gonna lie.
Sometimes to make big changes got to be drastic. That was a bar, bro. And it made me realize that yes, to make real change, you have to take some big risks sometime. And piggybacking off of what we spoke about earlier, let's say everything you're posting isn't doing well for a very long amount of time. Sometimes you have to look at what you're doing and realize this is not working. This is not sustainable. I need to actually change everything like he did. It wasn't that what he was doing wasn't working. In fact, it was working really well. But mentally for him, he wasn't feeling as fulfilled as this new journey is making him feel. And these are the things we really got to start wrapping our heads around and really learning about ourselves in order to make the right decisions to get us to where we want to be, which is ultimately being happy, bro. Number 5, making it work financially. Okay, let's talk about money because a lot of people don't unless they're flexing. I don't know why there's not that many educational sources for producers about money, about finances, about taxes, about just managing your business as a producer. Because when you become a full-time musician, bro, you're starting your own business. You're an entrepreneur now. It's pretty much all up to you. And just how I was talking about earlier about taking risks. One thing I really wanted to wrap my head around with Ocean's big shift is also like financially, how was he able to make that decision? How has he managed his finances over this whole period of his 8-year career as a producer and a content creator? And what he told me made a lot of sense.
Since the beginning, I've always had in my head that this is my job, even when it wasn't paying me. So I kind of moved with that energy from the beginning. But the first paycheck I got was 2018 from DistroKid for the first brand deal. But my revenue streams have been brand deals, there's been sample packs, ad revenue, and it all kind of just adds up to make it livable or whatever. When it comes to like the music and my business, I'm very much pour back into it. I make money, I roll it straight back in. So when I was doing those videos and they were going well, let's roll it again. Let's roll it all back in, to the point where actually it wasn't really profitable at all. It made for good content, it made for a good moment, and I'm happy I put those out. I wouldn't regret it. There's been many times where I've probably just wasted too much money. Do you know what I mean? In terms of the music stuff. But I learned from it too, do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of similar in the sense I come from a background of not a lot of money, man. And I've noticed myself having, like, what's the opposite to abundance? Almost being too frugal with it, too hands-on with it, being too worried
the
about
opposite. Yeah, got you.
I don't feel that's a good necessary energy to move with. Like, it's almost saying like, I'm never gonna get money again, so I need to hold on to this. Whereas now my mindset has shifted a little bit, where it's like, I'm willing to spend back into what I believe in to make it better. Maybe sometimes I do take an L, but I never take an L because I'm learning, right?
Type shit. Yeah, that's true.
But with but that's where I can balance it on my personal life. I'm not spending crazy, so I can. I'm lucky I don't really have too much responsibilities. It's just pretty much me, man, looking after myself, looking out for my family when I can do. And I've made my life purposely this way so I can make these risky moves.
So many gems. Like, he talked about the seasons, you know, certain periods of his life that maybe one thing is working out, so he has to put more into the YouTube videos, or put more into the music, or put more into this so that he can remain sustainable. And that last bit really resonated with me because I agree wholeheartedly. We've talked about this on the channel a lot. It's just like switching your mindset to being someone who makes money, you know what I'm saying? And then he dropped this next gem that kind of brings me back to the topic on happiness and doing what fulfills you.
The moments when I think back to when I did have the most money, it wasn't even on my mind. It just came to me. It's like, oh shit, it's like bags was just being thrown at me, do you know what I mean? I wasn't actively seeking it. For now anyway, I really want to prioritize like the music and stuff like that, because you know, when you do your best and you do it at a high level, it will just come to you, man. LeBron James is not, in the beginning, he wasn't really thinking or chasing the bag. He just knew it was going to come to him because if you're the best basketball player, it's going to come to you. In music, it's a bit subjective, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah, that's
still,
a big, yeah.
There's money in music, man. There's a ton of money. It's ridiculous how much money is in music. It will come. It will flow to you.
Like you said, there's a ton of money in music. Don't let people tell you otherwise. You just got to work hard and figure out ways to go and get it. And number 6, there are no rules.
There's no rules, man. Anything can happen. The time that I saw Logan Paul get cancelled in Japan to now fighting in the WWE, bro, there's no rules in life. Anything can happen. Anything can change.
One of the biggest things I took away from this conversation is there are no rules. There's no roadmap to follow. There's no one way to be successful in the music industry. Some of us go viral, some of us grow slow, but the ones who make it are the ones who keep showing up. So yeah, if you're trying to do this long term, just know it's gonna be a roller coaster. You just gotta keep your head in the game long enough to find your way. If you want more conversations like this, hit that thumbs up and that subscribe button, and the full hour-long conversation is on my second channel, L.Dre TV. You can check that out here. And I'm gonna end this off with a final word of inspiration from me and Ocean. Catch you in the next one.
You're way more powerful than you think. And it's not even a sense of, I'm powerful to be overbearing over something or someone. It's just within yourself. You have the capability to create for yourself, man. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's just gonna unfold for you just because you decided it will, but keep going and something can happen, do you know what I mean?
Type shit. That's literally what I've said my whole life. Just keep going and something good can come from it. As long as you don't give up.